why alpha males turn into beta males in relationships. I've seen this happen over and over and over to even the strongest alphas I've seen out there. A lot of these guys turn to jelly, turn to putty, turn to pudding, turn into cream puffs once they get into a relationship with a woman that they're really into. And generally it's always, I tell you, it's always a girl that's just a little bit above what he's used to getting. Just a little bit hotter than what he's used to dating, right? Because these guys are very easily able to stay alpha with a girl that's on his level or even a little bit below him, that he's not even really that attracted to, that he's just kind of like dating out of convenience in the meantime until he finds the next piece of gold, right? Until he finds the next hottie that he wants to go the distance with. When these guys get a girl who is just a little bit above his social status, again, a little bit more attractive than what he's used to dating, that is when his alpha badness is really put to the test. As will yours be, okay? As will yours be. You'll be really put to the test on how alpha you are able to remain in that relationship, knowing that this girl is a little bit above you. When you're with a girl who's a little bit above what you're used to getting, you do your best to try to hang on to her, okay? You don't want to lose that girl. You want to hang on to her. And you kind of start to get a little bit paranoid about other guys taking her away from you. That's when you start doing and demonstrating a lot of these low value behaviors like mate guarding, possessiveness, jealousy, asking to see her phone, asking to check her social media, and stuff like that. And you start living in her reality, in her world, versus your own. You start abandoning the things that you need to get done in life. You kind of shift your focus away from that and onto her, right? You shift your focus off of being on your grind and onto watching her, pretty much, right? Making sure you don't lose her, making sure you keep her happy. And next thing you know, you start to lose yourself in this relationship. You start to find yourself compromising a little bit more than you're used to doing, and you feel like you're doing the right thing. You feel like, hey, I'm with this kind of bomb girl. I kind of like this girl. I don't want to lose her, right? That's another sign you want to watch out for, guys, when you say things to your boys like, you know what? I kind of like this girl. Whenever you catch yourself saying that, beware. Remember, M told you to beware when you say, you know what? I actually kind of like this girl. That's when you got to be careful, guys. And you got to look out, because those are going to be the times where this girl is just going to sneak up on you. And all of a sudden, you're going to find yourself going from alpha to beta very quickly. Okay? You're going to find yourself going from alpha to beta very quickly. If you're one of these guys who wants to really engage in a long-term relationship, and especially a marriage, right? A lot of you guys want to have families, you want to have kids, and you don't want to have to settle for a girl who's below your standards. Because again, those are the type of girls, it's very easy to stay alpha. Doesn't take much work, because you know what? You know that you're the prize. When you're dating a girl who's below your standards, you know very well that you're the prize, and you know what? She knows it too. The reason why she knows it is because you know it. Okay? Because you're acting out of that frame, that you're higher value than she is. And really the trick is, and I'm not going to get too much into a pickup or, a pickup artist coaching lesson in this coaching video, but I mean, the trick is to flip that script on her and get her to buy into that frame that you're higher value than her, right? That basically you're the prize. Okay, because again, it goes back to law of state transference. What you feel, she feels. So for a lot of guys, they cannot maintain being alpha in a relationship with a girl who is hotter than what he's used to dating. A lot of guys have this problem. And really the secret to fixing this is First off, you have to understand that being alpha, it's like pickup. Okay, it's not a technique, it's not a tactic, it's not something you do, it's something you live. It's a way of life, right? I've talked about the claw, how I claw girls. Guys are always like mystified. How do you do that? I'm like, you know, and they're like, teach me how to do it. Right, especially guys I just meet in the venue, show me how to do that. I'm like, dude, the claw is not a technique, it's not a tactic, it's a lifestyle. Right, same thing with being alpha. It's not a technique, it's not a tactic, it is a lifestyle. It's how you have to become. You know, you don't want to be out there doing game, you want to become the game. You want to be the game. You don't want to become alpha, you want to just be alpha. Make sense? Especially in these long-term relationships, are the fact that these chicks are wired to try to turn you beta, right? These chicks are wired to try to turn you beta. And the reason why it doesn't work when it's a chick that is below your standards, the reason why she can't do that to you and you stay alpha is because you're not afraid to lose her. You're not, right? Because you're like, hey, bitch, you try this shit on me again, I'm out of here. I don't need you. I'm tired of you anyway, right? You know you can get better than her, and you know you want to go out there and get better than her. So you don't care if she dumps you. So anytime she acts out, you put her back in her place. You're like, hey, knock that shit off. Don't test me, right? I'll dump you. I will leave you in the dust. I will dump you and you'll be out there kicking rocks on Las Vegas Boulevard. When it comes to girls that that are beneath you, that's the attitude you take because you know you're the prize. But when you know the girl's a little bit above you, you take a different path. You take a different route. Whereas you're afraid to lose her. So you're not gonna say shit like that. Instead, you're gonna be like, baby, we need to compromise. Baby, you know, we need to come to an agreement. You try to work with her instead of like doing what you do with other girls where you have 1 foot in and 1 foot out, right? And you fail to demonstrate to this girl that you're the prize. And instead you start acting like a chump, start acting beta. She begins to treat you as such. She begins to treat you as a chump, as a beta, right? So this is why a lot of alpha males turn into beta males in relationships, is because the girl turns them into a beta, because that's her job to do that. Now, when she's less attractive than you are, when she's beneath your standards, it's very easy to step up and be like, hey, knock that shit off, right? Exercise your pimp hand, right? Not physically, I'm not saying to get violent. I'm just saying you exercise your pimp hand verbally, emotionally, right? In your actions. Whereas with hotter girls, you're more hesitant to do that because you don't want to piss her off. You don't want to lose her. And you know what? Once you start operating out of that frame, which is basically a scarcity-based mindset, and you're afraid to lose a girl, that's when you do. So A, you can never be afraid to lose a girl. And B, okay, you must always feel and act like the prize. And guess what? She will treat you as such. And that is how you stay alpha in these long-term relationships, right? You stay in that abundance mindset. You continue to act like the prize, that she is lucky to be with you and not the other way around. You never try to be alpha as a tactic. Instead, you just be alpha because that's who you are. That's just who you are. And with that said, I'm going to wrap up here. Until next time, this is Matt Cross from Alpha Male Secrets. Do not forget to destroy that like button below. I want you to destroy it, guys. Destroy that like button. Also, make sure that you hit that notification bell right next to it so that you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on my YouTube channel.